What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this POV review by Autobahn. My name is Max, and today you join me in the south of Germany. We are near Ingolstadt, near the factory of Audi, because we came here to test two cars. This new Audi S8, well, new, we just never really got around to testing it. It was introduced in 2022, and also the RSQ8, which we drove in Spain already, but we haven't driven that car on the Autobahn, so a review of that car is coming up as well. So this morning I left home at 5 a.m, flew to Munich, and by 10 a.m, I was driving the S8. So yeah, quite a long day. We're flying back tonight after, you know, filming two cars and everything. So quite a packed day, but it is a beautiful location here. You probably know it from our older videos if you've been with us for a while, or if you've seen the RS6 GT video recently. This is near MTM, and MTM is one of our oldest partners, and we made a lot of cool videos here in these woods on this beautiful road. So today I'm going to show you around this S8. We'll take it for a nice drive on this beautiful road, and then we'll take it to the Autobahn for a nice Autobahn blast as well. So spec wise, let's have a look at that. We've got a glacier white car with the extended black pack. These are two choices that I would never have made. I think the cool thing about an S8 is the fact that you get all the aluminium trim on the exterior, and I would also go for like a dark blue, dark green, I don't know, Ipanema brown if you want to be crazy, but I would, you know, go for more of a classy and classic look for the S8, because it's a very handsome car. They did a refresh for this S8 with new headlights. It now has 1.3 million micro mirrors inside the headlight unit to direct the light, which is kind of nuts. Really good headlights. And we've got a new front bumper as well, nice and sporty. The big grille, of course. Again, if you go for a spec without the black pack, then you get a proper chrome grille, which I think is just a must-have. Wheels and tires, we've got Goodyear winter tires on this car, so because the top speed is limited at 250, that should not be a problem. And we've got these 20-inch wheels, very nice wheel actually, quite like it. Behind that, the red brake calipers with an S logo right there. More black trim below and on the window surrounds as well, the window sills. And at the rear, new rear lights, which also looks good. I like the rear end of this car. It's a big car, it's almost 5 meters 20. But I think this is a very good look. And you've got these OLED things. Let me just check if you can change the design with this car like you can with the new RSQ8. So settings, these are light signatures. There we go. So we've got light design number 1 right now. You can have this one, and that one. Well, quite like that one. Confirm. Okay, so now we should have a different rear light. There we go. Now we have a different design. That is quite nice. Yeah, I think it's a very handsome rear end. Just a classic S8 with the quad tailpipes as well, and the S8 badge. You can see the car dropping down because it also has the new suspension. So if you open the door, the car lifts up. Elevated entry, it's called. If you close the door, so you can see it dropping down there, but it's also part of that active suspension that can basically deploy and retract any wheel at any time to compensate for potholes and stuff like that. But it can also lean into corners, and it can raise up for elevated entry, which is a lot more comfortable. And in the rear, you've got a lot of space, of course. Super comfy with nice blinds as well. Alcantara headliner, microfiber, bit of carbon fiber there. This car does not have the like rear seat package, which means that you have electrically adjustable rear seats and a bit more comfortable seats probably. You can also get some entertainment, I'm guessing. But this car does have a nice exclusive interior package with this red. So the black red combo package with the red seat belts and the red piping, the red stitching, the diamond stitch there, and you get an exclusive badge in the door with the Alcantara here, which is very nice. Some more carbon as well. It's got the Bang & Olufsen audio. So yeah, really, really nice. It's a nice place to hang out there in the rear. As I said, it's a very long car. Of course, it's also meant to transport passengers in the rear. But that is, I think, one of the reasons why this car gained a lot of popularity, because of the Transporter film. So, engine-wise, we've got the 4-liter V8 bi-turbo with 571 horsepower, 800 Newton meters of torque. It's the same unit, it has been in here for a long time. It works, it just works. It's not, you know, they haven't reinvented the wheel here. They just put the same engine in there. I think that's Martijn. Yeah. It works really, really well in this car. It sounds good, it quiets down when you want it to. It also really is able to move this 2.3 ton car. So yeah, it's I think it's a good engine for this car. So let's have a look inside, because nothing really changed here. This feels like it's been this way for 10 years. It's not, but it's been this way for a while. It's good. It's not, you know, groundbreaking. I still have some issues with the fact that everything is touch based, but at least it does work pretty well. The buttons are large enough so you don't miss them. It's just that I feel like I have to take my eyes off the road to use this, and that would not be the case with physical buttons. So I still think that this is not superior to the older systems. However, for a 2 touchscreen setup, this is pretty good. We've got an S steering wheel as well. Ooh, it's nice and heated. Red stitching on there as well, and yeah, more carbon fiber, stuff like that. You've seen it all before. This is nothing really new. It is a mild hybrid though, so it also has a little electric motor and a little battery to support the V8, but mainly to make it more efficient. And of course, we're going to go for dynamic mode for this beautiful road. So Comfort Plus is the mode that you really feel the leaning into corners and also the leveling during braking and acceleration. I'm not a big fan of it. I think it does work on, you know, during normal driving, but spirited driving, it just feels weird and you get a bit nauseous sometimes. So I'm just going to keep it in dynamic, of course, for this road. Also, the active suspension means that the car doesn't roll as much as in normal mode. So dynamic mode, active suspension does have a function. All right, so on this gorgeous road, do you have a reason to be here with an S8? Well, I can be very short about that. Yes, you do, because it actually, it handles really, really well. It has a great balance. If you want to relax, it relaxes immediately. But if you want to have a little fun on a road like this, it kind of, well, I wouldn't say it shrinks around you, but it definitely is quite light on its feet for such a big and heavy car. The active suspension also playing a big part in that, of course, because it weighs 2.3 tons, as I said. But the power is more than enough to get it going. You've got a torque vectoring rear diff in the S8. You also have rear wheel steering, but see, it picks up really well and it just moves the car effortlessly. And yeah, it's kind of amazing, to be fair. It's I don't really have anything bad to say about this. The only thing is I would spec ceramic brakes, carbon ceramics. They are available on the S8. This car does not have them. So far though, brakes have been pretty good, but I think that with, you know, if you would do this road or something like this for a long time or do a lot of Autobahn driving, I think carbon ceramics would be very nice. I like the way it sounds. It also has an exhaust flap that opens to increase the sound. Let me just check if we have launch control. So just go back to sport for the gearbox. Traction control in sport. Don't think so. 3.8 seconds 0 to 100, which is also pretty damn impressive. Now I do think like this is manual mode, but it does auto upshift, so yeah. Of course, it's a big limousine. I mean, I'm not expecting it to be a track car, but I always think that if you have a manual mode, then it should be a real manual mode. But that's just me. So if you compare it to other cars, I mean, BMW 7 Series used to be the one to have if you wanted the combination between, you know, sort of driver engagement or a little bit of driver engagement and a lot of comfort. But that car has gone an entirely different direction. It's also hideous, whereas this feels old school, this feels conservative, this feels, I don't know, like, you know, like a proper car. I think it's a very handsome car, much better looking than the 7 Series. The new S-Class, of course, the new S63 is a lot more powerful, a lot more expensive as well. And a different animal. This is more modest. This is more contained. It is more under the radar, and I quite like that. It's a Q car. I think the British would call this a Q car. It's very understated, but it does sound good. I mean, look at this. It is holding its own here. It really is. It's quite impressive. Now we know that, you know, that is down to the fact that there's a lot of trickery going on underneath, but it kind of feels okay. It feels pretty natural. I don't really notice the four-wheel steering. It's not nervous, or, you know, sometimes it kind of feels like you're driving a shopping cart. This feels really good. Freaking solid. I think Audi's been on a roll the last few years. They kind of been nailing these cars, S and RS cars, where the other two Germans are definitely dropping the ball. So in some respects, not with all cars, but some of them. Yeah, this is amazing. This is absolutely amazing. I wasn't expecting this to be this good on this road. It just flows with the road. You don't really feel the weight. It is exceptional. So let's take it to the Autobahn, of course, where this car really belongs. So here we are at the Autobahn. We're going to drive back towards Munich, where we will bring the cars back and experience what this car is like on the Autobahn, because as I said, that is what this car is made for, right? This car is just made to cover distance at speed, and well, no surprise, it's really good at that. But also just driving around from point A to point B, what we're doing today a couple times, this car is just so relaxing, and it is so quiet, and it feels so solid, and it just, oh, I love it. It just feels like when you buy this car, like, you've treated yourself, and I think that is very important. Okay, so let's go to dynamic mode, and then we're just going to gun it because I think we've got some space. Here we go, full throttle, around 100 kilometers an hour. Car's limited at 250 without, I think, the option to raise that top speed, because we couldn't find anything about that option anywhere. So this is 264, 5 braking. With the S8 Plus, at least, I know that you had the option of the Dynamic Plus package and the top speed went to 305. I could not find that option for this car, which is a shame, because this is, you know, easy for this car. Easy. No effort, no sweat. Ceramic brakes, as I said, are optional. In the Netherlands they are a 12,000 euro option, but it is a must-have if you drive on the Autobahn a lot, or if you do any sort of like driving that asks a bit more from those brakes. You need ceramics. They also last 4 times as long as normal discs, according to Audi. So in the end, I think you'll have a better car, but also save some money on maintenance to get that initial cost back, right? So yeah, I think you need them. You also need to spec it well, because I just noticed on the Audi website there are some very good specs floating around there, and it is just a very, very handsome car, and it's so easy to do this. It's, as I said, it's super quiet. Hardly any wind noise, hardly any tire noise. Thank you. You have the V8 in the background in dynamic mode, and that's the limiter again. I think this is like the 4th time I've hit that limiter. It's just cruising speed. This car is absolutely bored at 250. It can do so much more without breaking a sweat. What a, oh, this is such a good car. I don't know why it took us so long to drive it, because I always love S8s, and this is no exception. It is an exceptional car, this. It really is, and it is my favorite of the fast big saloons, the business saloons, because it just does everything so effortlessly, and it is cool doing it, and it's not as shouty as an S63, which is an amazing car. It's, you know, it's super complicated and highly advanced, but this feels more like a very effective way of doing this, and the way that we know and we love. It's just a little less complex, but it's not any less of a car because of that. I think it's a better car in spite of being less complex, if that makes any sense. It's just simplicity is king here. So 100 to 200 we did just below 9 seconds, which is that's a good result. And we also did, I think, 3.9 seconds, something like that. 0 to 100, it's supposed to do 3.8, but we're on winter tires, so yeah, makes sense. So it's performing well. Do you really care about that stuff? Well, yeah, you want it to be quick enough, which it is. And that's the end of the unlimited part, and that means the end of this review as well. What a car, what an Autobahn blast as well, right? This was like really, really good. I was not expecting that, because it's been busy all day here, and yeah, that was quite a nice little run. So I hope you enjoyed it. I definitely did. Get it in a good spec and you've got one of the best cars, like all-round cars for sale, probably. I mean, it's hard to find fault with this car. So thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it. You can subscribe by clicking the big button in the middle. You can also check out this video, this playlist, and I'll see you at the next one. Bye.